The media's back at it again, and this time they're trying to be your friend.
Friendo.
With stories like this.
Australian teenagers are waking up to a new digital reality this morning.
TikTok.
It's in.
Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat.
They are all in.
According to experts, teenagers may not be able to manage.
You're ripping children away from something that they love.
Tonight I'm going to bring you a very special part of our 6-part series looking at this world-first social media ban for under 16s in Australia. Hope you can watch.
Isn't it nice that the legacy media are so concerned about this social media ban? Firstly, it's very interesting that Channel 7 are the ones that had that 6-part expose on the social media ban, because just in October, Southern Cross Media and Seven West Media Limited joined, which is a merger of two of Australia's biggest media companies, which brings together things like Triple M and Hit together with the Seven Network, as well as a whole bunch of TV networks and newspapers. But surely that's the only coincidence here.
Did you know that a radio host and the head of an advertising agency were behind the teen social media ban?
That's right, this 36 Months organisation, which I find it hilarious, they've got the little Instagram logo up there. They were the ones behind the plan to set a global precedent to lead that national campaign to raise the minimum age from 13 to 16, first law of its kind anywhere in the world. And here's their team. Includes Greg Atwells, who is founder of Finch, spruiking in this post here that they're going to host an online session Thursday morning for brands and media owners keen to learn more about the campaign, which includes a $3 million advertising drive with early support from Nine and Nova. Alongside Rob here, who they claim have made scores of television commercials. Also including Melissa Bradbury, who is part of the Australian Retailers Association. And this bloke here, Michael Whitfley, or as you may know him as Whipper, who has a radio show on Nova. And as this Crikey article points out, they had a big party to celebrate the social media ban. And as you can see, there's Albo and the Minister for Communications. And as Whipper himself here points out, is what's fascinating is the amount of experts you can actually buy if you're a corporation. And at this big celebration, there's Whipper, they had a bunch of sponsors. And this one's very interesting, I'll get back to that. But let's start with Nova, who's owned by Lachlan Murdoch. Yes, that Murdoch of this Murdoch fame. The bloke who owns Fox News and News Corp, who passed on News Corp to Lachlan, which as an example in Australia owns all of this media. Yeah, that's who Whipper works for. Back to the big corporation, Nestle. You can check out everything owned by Nestle on, weirdly, this Wyoming attorney website. But let's have a look here and you can tell me if this starts to paint a picture. These are some of the baby brands they own. And they own things like Kit Kat, Aero, Smarties, Milky Bar, Nespresso, Nescafe, some Starbucks. They got Milo, Nesquik, Nestea, obviously Nestle ice cream, Häagen-Dazs, Mövenpick, and a whole bunch of pet foods like Purina and Friskies and Fancy Feast. I don't know about you, but last time I watched TV, a lot of those brands were the ones that are advertising consistently. So we've got a radio host who works for a brand owned by Murdoch, working alongside television advertising agencies and retail association people who pioneered the plan of this social media ban. Interesting, no?